Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we are going with another Esper pile. And very interesting part about this deck. It doesn't really run any new Capena cards, except Raffine Tower, because let's face it, it's pretty good in Esper. So I wanted to see how the original Esper deck list fares right now, and from what I've seen, it's still really strong, and it has a very decent win rate overall. Like when you go into the actual huge stats, it's like 57%, I believe, something like this. So that's actually one of the big Esper decks right now. So what exactly is special about this deck? This deck has a lot of card draw. You might not feel in one of the game, like in some of the games, because I really had trouble in hitting Memory Deluges. But we have four of them, and we also have Behold the Multiverse, and we also have Kaito. So we have pretty hard card draw. Like we draw a lot, especially with flashback from Memory Deluge. What more? We have extremely big amount of sweepers. Like we have four Doomskars, but not only this, we also have double farewell, one devastating master. So we have in total 7 sweepers. That's really a lot. We have Sunset Revelry to make sure we get to this part when we cast the devastating master or farewell or Doomskar or whatever. And let me tell you, Doomskars, man, when you have them on turn 2, and then on turn 3 you can sweep the board. Like it makes such a big difference for the full game. And not only the fact that you can sweep, the fact that you can show the enemy that you probably will sweep him makes his game plan completely trashy. Like like he cannot play whatever he wants because then you just sweep everything. So usually he tries to slow roll the board, and then you can keep up with going 1 for 1 removal, and suddenly you are at 5-6 mana and just outvalue him. So the deck plays really nicely itself. And the card, the big finisher for the games, Hullbreaker Horror. So for this reason alone, this deck is really good at closing games. Moment you cast Hullbreaker Horror and can protect it, and enemy doesn't have removal, he loses and he scoops. So this is the difference between this deck and a lot of other Esper decks that are not as easy to close the game. Especially that in control versus control, uh, sometimes you will meet the decks that have a lot of counter spells. They are rare, but they still happen. And yeah, it means that if he doesn't have removal, it doesn't really matter, right? You can bounce it. And remember, not only this isn't countered, but whenever you cast a spell, choose up to one, is also not counterable. Like even if he counters whatever you played, you can still bounce the Hullbreaker Horror and protect it. So it's basically uncounterable part of your deck. So in control and against control, it really helps. We have also one test of talents, and yeah, let me tell you, after playing the games, you really need to be careful what you play it on. Like you really want like something like Invoke Despair or some like main card like maybe Big Score, White Invocation. Like it has to be a big card. And if you waste it on like an insignificant card, you actually can lose the game outright with this. I think right now in the meta, prime target is Invoke Despair for this, because a lot of control or thrower or like mid-range decks use this card, and the moment you remove this from their deck, they lose like the whole engine that the deck was working on. So yeah, you really need to be careful. You have only one of these cards, but it actually can win you the game if you play it right. So really something to keep in mind. Also, don't be scared to cycle it with Kaito. Whenever you get the wrong matchup, you just cycle it and get rid of it. Okay. Other than this, we have some Emeria's Call. I didn't have too much mana issues with this deck, so I think it's fine. Like the mana base seems very stable. And yeah, you need Pathway on turn 2. That's one of the big things, because you want to Forter Doomskar or use Sunset or negate something or Vanishing Verse something. And Vanishing Verse, while sometimes it doesn't work in this meta, I really think it's such a strong card. Like mostly for Tenacious Underdog, let's be honest, you usually play it on this card because it's such a perfect answer. It's on curve, It kills the creature and gets rid of his whole effect. So this card is so sweet against this card, and it kills Planewalkers very well. So like Wandering Emperors, Lords, whatever, like Sorins, they are very popular, and this card is nearly never dead, even in decks that have multiple colors. So I think it stays. Okay, and that's the deck. I think we go into the games because it's not like super revolutionary, but it's Esper and it plays nice. So if you want a bit of alternate deck list, I think this really works. And yeah, if you like this kind of decks, as always, subscribe, uh, click this bell button and so on. It really helps grow the channel, and we are growing quite nicely lately, I must say, and you guys are really supportive, and I'm really happy personally that you enjoy the videos. I see the likes, and it's nice that you enjoy those. I'm trying my best, and it's great to see it works. So Esper dedicated to you guys, and let's go into the games. Okay, opponent goes first. Okay, I think it's acceptable hand, let's say. I really miss the 2-drop because we... Oh yes, that's so good. So we need to exactly know what we play it for. I think white. No, we want blue. We want double blue for the Deluge. Oh, then we cannot Vanishing Verse, so we go for the negate, I guess. Let's start like this. That's the problem. If you want to cast this as a blue... What? What is this? Human Berserker, 2 mana 1/1. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put 2 counters against Menace. Okay, but the counters are permanent. Okay, that's scary. Consider me scared. And you know what? It made me change my mind, and we will just Doomskar. Because if it gets big, we just Vanishing Verse it. And this means that if he fruits the board, he won't be happy about the outcome. Okay? Oh, that's sweet. I smirk you for 5. And it's big forever. So big, so scary. We don't want to Doomskar this turn, so we don't Supercar. Problem is, in this kind of deck, he needs to actually play into our hands. Like, sure, he can smork for a lot, but are you really smorking for a lot? And look at his cards, he has only 3. If we go one by one, he loses. Okay. Okay, so now we have Emperor. What is this card? Whenever another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. When enchanted creature dies, look at the top X cards from your library and X is the power. 1 into the hand. Okay, interesting. I like this deck, you know what? I will tell this. I like it. I do like what he did. Also Emperor is pretty good. So we definitely Doomskar next turn. Okay, and he goes directly into combat. 4 damage, sure. What's up, bro? You have your 4 damage. That's the problem. If you don't play into stuff, what are you really doing? What are you really doing?
Now you've done it. That's coming on.
Let's be like, you know, this guy. So to show enemy what he can expect during the next turn. Is it a Doomskar, my friend? We have negate open, so whatever he has, it won't matter. Deadly Dispute. Okay, so you get your 1 card from the top. A treasure token. I don't want to give him mana. Let's counter it already. Like, Cardo is very important here, so we want to counter this, especially that negate won't be like the most hot card in the matchup. It will hit something like this life or something, or necrosynthesis. But it's not a card that you really want to keep. That's really
I'm
good for
never
us.
done for good.
And that should close the game, to be honest. So we play Kaito, we have Jwari open, and we have Vanishing Verse open. And when we start drawing cards every turn, that's basically what you want to do. Phase out. Never been there. Blade of the Oni, sure. It's monocolored, so we don't mind it. I don't think he has anything against like Kaito, and if he casts it after it's phased in, it means that we untap. Smork. As long as we draw cards with Kaito, we cannot really lose this.
Now this is a
Even if with our land every turn draws. So what is it doing? Not really anything. We can always exile it if we care. Until end of turn. Weird. Oh, that's so sweet. That actually does matter a bit. If I could, I would counter it. Okay, you got it. You got it. We'll make our ninja. You sneaky bastard. So we could go for double removal. And you know what? I think we will. This is 2 mana. So let's make sure that we get rid of one of them. And because this can kill ninja during the next turn. So let's just go 1 for 1 all the way. And you can see the cards that we drew with Kaito are the ones that we are having right now in the hand. That is our card advantage. So we have 3 cards, enemy had 0. That was the effect of Kaito. Sure. We don't have much to do with our hand, so we can do it as well. Unblockable. Draw cards. Oh, and that was the game closure, so I don't even need Jwari anymore. Nice. Interesting like deck from the enemy. I kinda like it, it has a lot of synergies. And even with good top decks, I don't think it's enough. We will go for the Emperor. So when he attacks Kaito, we just make a token with the Emperor. How do you want to attack? Face. Sure. And I think he will scoop right now. You cannot really keep up with Kaito drawing cards and the Emperor.
We must protect.
Good attempt. Good attempt by the enemy. Smork. And by the way, if you want to finish the enemy, you generally go for the 2 samurais, because it's delayed damage, but it is more damage. And I will cast it with Memory Deluge, we have infinite value. And enemy is taking it like a champ. Well, with his top decks, I guess it's pretty good.
no cost.
Like, he's freaking drawing from the top all the answers. Like, Planewalker removal into Berserker. That didn't work out. So let's play the Deluge. Oh, yeah. Good game. I appreciate the guy. Like, at least he tried some off meta, so big respect to the person. Oh man, I think this is a mulligan. Like, Jwari is good. We could go this, then pay 3 life and go Jwari. But man, it doesn't feel great at all. Let's keep this one. This one is way better. We can either go for land, or so we can be sure that we cast Deluge, or go for the more value in case we miss 1 draw. So this is first land, this is on blue probably, and this is white, so we get rid of this one, right? I think we'll do it like this. After the mulligan, I think we don't mind additional value. And our gargoyles are happy. Is it a gargoyle? It's more of an like bird thing. I don't know. Man, what I dislike generally about the pet thing is that they discovered that they can sell you twice the same pet, so they barely make another skin. It's like in line with the rest what they're doing, but it's a bit annoying overall. Okay, and round over, we are against Esper Angels. Esper Angels. So the farewell will be the game-winning play. Actually, probably, yeah, we have to cast it. Okay, that was a mistake, but I don't think we'll remove Valkyrie. I think we'll remove the second Valkyrie. Righteous one. Oh, they don't have it. It might be the first game in my life when they didn't have it, so I'm happy. Okay, that's a good draw. That is a good draw. It really creates a lot of pressure, and yeah, we drew the 4th land, and we have double blue. Man, Raffine's tower is such help here. Okay, so now we Doomskar. Now we definitely have to Doomskar, because that's a bit too much pressure. And now we can go 1 for 1 and then farewell. So this will be a scary turn, because next turn he will get double strike on whatever he plays now. If that's Lisa, we are in trouble. Okay, and we got a bit lucky. We got a bit lucky. Actually, Valkyrie is one of the best draws for us. I think that's the correct choice. Because if we don't remove anything, he might attack and try to force us into some decision. And if not, we can just remove stuff. So, do we want to die? Probably not. So let's kill this. Okay. So this will be 4 damage to the face, and then we for farewell. Ouch, that hurt. This is one of the few good answers to the Lisa, so I'm pretty happy about it. I always do everything for no reason. Actually, I had once a game when I have chosen something that wasn't on, and he played some instant that created it. So, you know, sometimes it does matter. Man, that's a good draw. That's a good draw. No, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we need more blue. Like, those pathways, or whatever, are pretty good. So I think what we are doing is this, and see what's up. Oh, those are good cards. So definitely March. We have 7 mana, so we don't need more. I don't think he will get Jwari, so we will take this just to make sure we live longer. That's actually a good draw. So basically you want to start with Sweeper at the start of the game. And by start I mean turn 3 to 6. Moment. This one actually matters. So, oh man, it sucks. It's such a bad target for the March. But we still need to get rid of it. We need to preserve our HP. Hopefully I can kill it in different way. Okay, that's not it. So what are we doing? I don't think we are doing anything, right? Yeah, you can sacrifice this as like always. So basically, oh man, that was so good. The game wasn't over. Like when we targeted this for everything, he would just sacrifice it, so no life gain for us. And then if he draws an angel and we don't draw a removal, that would be an issue. Okay, so we have 2 lander. Worst case we can use it to Behold the Multiverse, I guess. I would much rather have 1 more land, but we'll see. And they're both tap lands, unless we get some pathway, or 1 basic. So yeah, we probably get quite a slow start, to be honest. Yeah, and we probably should go to Behold the Multiverse, I guess. Man, enemy is ramping like crazy right now. The good part is that this is not really, you know, like a creature. Sorry, it's not a land, so it doesn't count toward the Topiary Stomper. Man, we either slow him down or just do this. Like, I think we have to do it. It's so scary. Like, we already missed a land drop, and we probably need to invest the second turn in order to get the land drop. Enemy is at 6 mana before we started to have our third. Oh man, this is so awkward. And we indeed have to do it. Matches are okay, but they're too slow and we need more lands. Like, we need to be sure that we play land every turn from now on. 2 lands. I will discard Test of Talent and Memory Deluge. Man, so much value that we are wasting. And it's so hard to get into Farewell. At least we can cast double Vanishing Verse next turn, so I guess it's something we need to use. But we got so screwed. March is very good against the token. It will help us with the tempo a bit. Okay, so this is basically a first turn when we had decision to participate in this game. 1 mana is definitely March on this. He will attack with the Stomper, so maybe we Vanishing Verse it. I actually think we should. Do we do it main phase? Yeah, I think it doesn't really matter. Oh man, what a freaking draw. Let's play like this, because this is one of the few turns that we can double remove for 3 mana. So let's use it. No harm in attacking. Okay. So that's the first one. Like, this is one of the really good things about the March. It's so efficient. Given we are only on 12, I will also do it to Stomper. And exile matters a bit because he has Shigeki, so right now he cannot really get anything back. Like, if we just remove those creatures, he could just get them back with Shigeki. Okay, and he decided to go... Oh, okay. So my idea was that if he -3, he gets the token, but then he cannot, you know, have Ren, and actually he has everything in this hand. And imagine if we could Farewell right now. Oh man, that sucks. We have to remove one of them with Vanishing Verse. It means Ren will stay. Man, this has been the most awkward game ever. This missing 1-drop devastated our whole game plan. Okay, +1 is okay. Let's hope he doesn't get any Graveyard Synergy. Double Blood on the Snow. That's scary. Yep, we are nearly dead. The problem with this whole gameplay is that we are forced to freaking waste every card we have just to stay alive, just to keep up with the tempo we lost with this one land drop. We also had to, like, multiverse main phase and first Fortel multiverse, so like we got like 3-4 turns behind. Okay, that's actually something good. So basically he went a bit all in. That's the first turn when we are happy with the result. So I think we go creatures. What are his cards in the graveyard? Man, like, I think it's graveyard as well. Let's do the full purge. So yes, we lose Memory Deluge, but he loses more. And the fact that he loses double bat on the snow, like, if he Shigekis and gets all of this back, we are so screwed. Okay, and enemy is going full ham mode. And that's the problem, right? That's the problem. Like, we can get Hullbreaker Horror, but then we cannot do anything else. So what we have to do is go Memory Deluge and get an answer. Look, 1 mana behind. Always 1 mana behind. Right now we would just Emperor and stabilize the game and very likely win this, especially with the Hullbreaker. Oh man, that's so irritating. This game was so easy to win if we weren't behind from the start. We even get Jwari. Good game. Okay, this draw is pretty good. Of course we are on the draw, because why wouldn't we? But at the same time our hand is pretty decent. Like we have a little bit of everything, and I really like having card draw and Doomskar. And as you can see, the Doomskar is the important part. So, how do we play it? I think we go for the like balanced mana. We will have one white, double white and triple white. So I think we should be okay with this. Let's go for Doomskar. I heard it's a good card against aggro. And this will create situation when he might not play into the board if he's smart. So I think he might attack with Asher, make the token and pass. But then we are happy with this. What? Okay. I have no idea what I'm playing with. I have no idea what I'm playing with. Okay. Oh man, I should maybe foretell this. So, if he goes to combat phase, we just Vanishing Verse the Asher. So then he has no pressure, and he needs to play more into the board. Then we go into... Man, we need double blue. So my friend, if you want us to Doomskar, you need to play more. You need to play more into the board. The small poor Viking left. The Asher summoned him and left to dry. Okay, that's interesting. This is interesting because it survives, right? How does shield work? Remove a shield counter instead of dealing damage, so we don't get the heal, right? Oh no, it's not prevented because it's separate part of the effect, so we are golden. So let's see, our HP is so important in this matchup, it gives us time to make plays. So I think we go for the big march, and big I mean 3. And we'll see what the enemy does. Like if he passes, it's just 5 damage, we might even Memory Deluge. And by Memory Deluge I mean Behold the Multiverse, because we have the wrong mana. So let's see how he plays. At some point we need to march to get rid of the counter. So I expect Falco in this deck. That would make sense, right? You know what? I'm a greedy bastard. I want my lance. Oh man. Well, not in this situation. While I really like the card, not in this situation. This is way better. Oh man, this is way better. Let's go for blue. I think tokens are pretty dope here. Do we need to care about Test of Talents? I think we have one Doomskar, so maybe let's do it like this. It also opens the march for some sneaky plays. Problem is that this has double strike, so it means that it has first strike as well. Okay. So I think he broke and he decided that maybe he needs to do stuff. Maybe he needs to do stuff. So what is our next turn? Do we Doomskar and foretell the next one? I think that's the play. So this means that no reason to not prevent 1 damage. It might matter at some point. And we do this at the end step. If I had 1 more mana, I would just Memory Deluge, because we are not pressured like too hard. We could also just kill this. You know what? I like this idea more. Enemy has to open. So I'm thinking if he has Detour, but he has not enough mana, so I think he doesn't. And let's go for the maximum damage. We do it right now. Man, he has something, that's for sure. So I'm doing this during our phase, so he doesn't draw a card. I guess we could do it in response. Okay, so that was a mistake. I should have waited, but maybe he has something like Counterspell, so him untapping would make it more awkward. But yeah, I guess he would need to tap out for the creature. But then we get 2 extra damage, right? Man, I would like to draw a Farewell. That would be much cleaner way into removing the duelist. Like, we can do it, but it's not in the way that we like. So I think now the play is to Doomskar, like the Fortel and Memory Deluge. Oh, that's a good way to remove it. A bit late though. Because right now we have the Vampire as well. What will you say about this? Like, I think we are in a very good spot, but I can say he's doing all he can to make it awkward, and he's really succeeding in it. Worst case, we can exile something for 2 if we really care, but I would much rather not do it. Like, this is a strong card. I like the fact that people are starting to play it. Like, it's expensive, but the fact that it has first strike is quite sweet. He's pacing it really well. Look, every time he makes sure that the Doomskar is not sweeping the board, so that's really good play by him. Maybe we get the Angels? Oh, that's interesting play. That's interesting play. Okay, that's okay. So we can go for Angels or Memory Deluge. How good are Angels, really? We could just get rid of this creature, but then we cannot cast Deluge, right? So I think we should make the Angels. It makes his attack really hard. Yes, he trades for both, but then it means he loses one of the... It's basically a sweeper. Yeah, it's a sweeper that blocks damage, basically. Because Doomskar, you still get hit by the duelist. Oh man, that's strong. That's interesting deck. So I guess they get the shield counter back when he bounces it. I think he can get rid of all the Angels, so that sucks a bit. On the bright side, it means that he has only this on the board. So then we can kill it at the end step whenever we want. We need Farewell, and then I think we can close this game. And we need to see how he decides to handle it. Okay, so he wants the shield counter. That's smart. I think that's the best call by him. Like, he's doing really well. But like, if he attacks right now, then we just trade. And basically he loses the shield counter for free. And on the other hand, you don't really want to do nothing against control deck. I'm not sure what we are playing against. Oh yes, please. I definitely don't mind this creature. And that's the problem for him. If he attacks, he doesn't gain much, but if he does nothing, that's even worse. Okay, that's very interesting attack. First of all, let's see what we play around for the next turn. See? That actually made a difference, because we are having literally nothing. What the hell? But to be honest, that's bad attack, right? So basically he gave up one of his creatures for free, for 4 damage, basically. So I'm happy with this. And we exile this one because it's huge, so we use the March here. I think we do it like this. We have enough lands. Like, we always can have more, but I think Raffine Tower is better as a cycle target. Okay, so we cycle this. We go for the March here, we block this, and we are in the good position. Actually, I can cycle right now, right? 3 mana, then we go 4 mana. Maybe not. If we counter something, then we cannot. So let's see if we have to counter something. I'm still hopeful, like with those colors, I guess he should have some non-creature spells. Double attack. Oh, he attacks with everything. I guess that's smart. It's obvious what we want to block. Or we give him 4 damage and get rid of the Innkeeper. Not sure. I think still it's a bit better to preserve it. Man, sorry for the cough. Oh man. Oh, I got so distracted. Man, I suck at this game so much. I was thinking about whether I coughed or not, and whether you guys will be irritated or not, and I forgot about the whole thingy. Let's make an oopsie, because that's definitely an oopsie moment. Yeah, that sucked. Okay, we are going into like hard mode, let's say. The hard mode. Worst part is that we probably will win this game anyway. So yeah, this goes on the internet, right? With all the misplays. I hope you enjoy those. Okay, so basically we cycle with Doomskar, right? And we go for the Raffine towers. They seem pretty good. So the enemy assumed that if we have Doomskar, then that's fine, because we didn't use this card for a long time, so there was a high chance it wasn't Doomskar. And I guess we can cycle it right now. We'll have already enough mana to answer whatever he plays. And we are really good at drawing lands. Like, we are really doing it with this deck. Even Memory Deluge like hit basically 4 lands. Okay, we are on the same spot, I guess. Yeah, we are exactly on the same spot right now. Oh man, this game was a bit embarrassing, but still, we won this. So, at least you see the deck is good, because it can drive itself better than I do. Like, then I can drive it. So, I think that will be it. He has no pressure on the board, he has 1 card, and we have Memory Deluge. After we cast Deluge, we probably win the game. That's my expectation for this game. And sure. Like, you know, we will cast it anyway, so we might as well right now, to see what's up exactly. It makes our next plays a bit easier. He's thinking. I wonder why. Okay, Hullbreaker Horror. That's a good card. And March. That's also a good card. And that will win the game, right? Sure. So now, he attacks, we play Hullbreaker Horror, then he tries to kill it, we counter, and we win the game. That is the plan. And we keep the Jwari. We could even Emperor. Like, if we were off camera and wanted to grind them slowly, I would probably use the Emperor, because it forces the answer anyway, and yeah, it makes Hullbreaker Horror easier to cast later, because if he has something, it's going to Emperor. So probably that would be the correct play, but you are here for the big plays, right? It also cannot get countered, so it's a bit easier this way. Man, Vanishing Verse is not having a great time here. What the hell was this game? This was really awkward, but I hope you enjoyed this.